You had a business transaction with a brother or a sister in church. The pastor was not aware, the church was not aware. It was your personal business. Now, the transaction went south. Maybe it was a business transaction or a relationship transaction. But this transaction went south, it went sour, it didn't work. You are offended. Not just at the person that you entered the transaction with without telling the pastor. You are now offended with the pastor, you are offended with the church. I try to wrap that around my head to understand how people reason. Okay, the transaction went south and you decided to bring the matter up to the pastor, and the pastor, being a righteous judge, decided that okay, this is how this matter should go. You said no, you want it to go the way you want it to go and not the way the pastor said you should go. You are now offended at the pastor. You're offended at the entire church. You now left church. You know the interesting thing, let me tell you a story about how animals in the wild, like herds, how they operate. When the lion wants to attack herds of maybe antelopes or some kind of other wild animals, his prey, he normally isolates the one that is far from the group. He isolates that one and attacks. So once you start to isolate yourself from church, you are a good target for the devil. The first thing I want to let you know, it is not the Spirit of God that asks you to leave because somebody offended you. No, it's the devil. Because he's trying to separate you from the rest so he can strike. He's smart. You get offended because the usher asks you to sit. You get offended. You just get offended at things. And you left the church. No, it is not God that asks you to leave. It is the devil. Why? Because he wants to separate you from the flock so he can attack. So be smart. If you've left church, go back. Go back and get committed. Thank you so much. I hope you read your Rhapsody for today. I'll see you next time. Cheers.